Wasn't that something? Wasn't that little intro video? Wasn't that just something?
It's the same one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Literarily Wasted. Some of y'all have been asking for this very popular thing, so we're going to give it to you right now. And Talia, go.
Remember that you asked for this. Hi, Tammy and Mike and Monica, Giggles, Vince, Lauren and Brandy and Julie. Hi. Oh, it scrolled too fast. Hold on. Oh no, the mouse. Hi, Bobby and Jeff and Jen and Brandy and Ashley and Spare and Joe. Hi, Justin and Peggy and Judy and Tim and Adrian, Jen and Cindy. Hi, Willa and Natalie. Cameratata. Sorry, I just really wanted to say that. I know, but it didn't go with the beat of the song. And Lisa and Joe and Tammy and Jay and Kent, Rebecca, Bethany, Kara, Nicole, Henry, Julie, Joe, Lisa.
And StreamYard.
Well, how about that? Wasn't that something?
You asked for it by podcast.
You asked for it and you got it. That was definitely
You said
something.
you wanted it.
You wanted it, you got it. Well, hi, everybody. Hi, Lit Fam. Today, we are here to talk about the first half of Drew Magary's The Hike. But first, we just got to do a little something. It's not the most pleasant thing that we got to do, but we were made aware very recently in the Literally Wasted Lounge that one of our group members has passed away, unfortunately, due to COVID. So let's just take a moment. Let's just take a moment and remember Rachel and her husband, Jimmy Pearson, who both very unfortunately passed away from COVID. Tiffany Marin is one of her good friends, and she brought this to our attention, and it's very tragic. So we just, we reached out. We got just a few words about her, just about Rachel, so we can remember her. She loved Jane Austen novels. She was strong in her faith. Her husband was truly her soulmate. She loved coffee and Sonic Ice and baking. She was funny and kind. She taught kindergarten, and her students adored her, and she loved watching horror movies, especially the Conjuring series. And according to Tiffany, she quickly became one of her best friends, and her trips to Toussaint and Charles will not be the same. So her life was tragically cut short, but it is nonetheless worth celebrating. So wherever you are, raise a glass. This is to you, Rachel.
Thank you for being Jimmy. A part of our Lit Fam.
Yes, this is, we are all different people from different places, but this is the thing that brings us all together, and we love every one of you. So, to Rachel. So that said, now we can get on with our live discussion of Drew Magary's The Hike. Okay, so Christy's got a recap for you. Let's just do that first.
I think we all need a recap because, oh my God, so much stuff happened. So Ben is on a business trip and decides to go for a quick hike. During the hike, he sees a man wearing a Rottweiler face dragging a little girl that he had seen earlier that day. Her feet are chopped off and there's a bag over her head, and he's dragging her out of a shed. He's seen by this dude and he freaks out and he starts running. He is now being chased by two men wearing Rottweiler faces, and he gets lost. Here's some bullet points. He meets his teenage crush on the side of the path, who he sleeps with. He's also a teenager at this time. He meets an old woman in her house, and she gives him 3 magic seeds in exchange for weeding her garden. He meets a grumpy crab near a beach house, and then he kills a giant cockroach. Oh my gosh, cricket! I have cricket written, but she's in her own nightmare. Put my own fantasies in there. Yeah.
Oh God, that'd be so much worse.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm so sorry to even do that to you guys. I'm really sorry. Yeah. Boat ride and hits an iceberg, and then the giant Pheromona throws him in a pit and makes him fight. Crab helps him escape. They reach a fork in the path where Crab tells him they must split up because he's already been on one of the paths. Then we find out that Crab is actually Ben, but 10 years older, and he has still not found the producer.
Whoa. Okay, so I don't think that it's a stretch, and I think we probably all share the sentiment that this book is nuts.
Yeah, it is.
This is a crazy book. I mean, Joe says it here. This book is a trip. Good luck with the summer. I think you did a pretty good job there with that. This book is crazy. And we've already talked a little bit about. I talked with Talia a little bit earlier, and I talk with Christy every second of the day.
That's true.
So we already what?
Sorry, we're just getting some weird sound stuff on our end.
Is it me?
I don't know.
Is it the dog eating?
Oh yeah,
No,
our dog is eating really loud.
No, it's like a weird a tech sound.
Okay.
It's fine. Keep going. Sorry, I interrupted.
So, but we can talk about what we think about this book so far. I'll start, I guess. I love this book. This book is insane, and I don't know. I'm reading it, and it's just like it's just going, and it's weird, and it's so weird. But I don't know, but I am really into this book, and I think I'm actually disturbed by how much I'm into this book. Because it's so crazy, but it's also like it's got a weird sense of humor. Ben, seeing everything from Ben's perspective, like how he reacts to all this insanity that's happening, is like it grounds it a little bit for me, in that I'm like, yeah, that's right. That's how you should feel. But yeah, that's all I'll say for now. Let's just preface my discussion with saying that I'm really into this book. Talia.
Christy can go.
Okay. I'm really into this book. I'm so sorry. He's such a loud eater.
It's okay. We were staring. We've got
yes,
a member of the family.
Really enjoying the book. It's a wild ride, and I was kind of liking how all over the place it is, and I like that it wasn't just comical, like Adam said. Ben is, the way he reacts to everything is really good, like maybe a normal person would. But what really got me is at the end, like right before our stopping place, when we found out that the crab is Ben, just 10 years older, I kind of lost interest. I was like, oh, cool. We're halfway there, and you're telling me that this spans over 10 years? Like, I don't know. I've been and it was a terrible place for me to stop, because I was like, oh crap. And then I got to sit on it for like 4 days. So really liked everything up to like the last like couple of paragraphs of the first half. So I'm sure I'll get back into it, but I don't know, that just totally threw me off.
Talia.
I agree with what you said about, I like how, it feels like whenever we get a fantasy story about like this normal man, this normal character is thrown into a fantasy world, and like all these crazy things are happening, and they always find that kernel of strength inside them, and they rise to the occasion and commit these amazing feats of strength and all sorts of stuff, like, and they make it through these crazy things that happen. And I love the realism of this dude is constantly barfing and crying because of these horrific things that he is witnessing. And he's like, I'm crazy. I'm losing my mind, which is, I feel like, the correct response. And I like the cover art.
But
this book is not for me. I like weird. It's not the weird. And honestly, I really can't put my finger on one thing that it is. I don't know if it's quite possibly my mentality going into reading it or something, but honestly, I didn't find anything humorous. And I think I didn't even start, I think I was kind of angry through the first probably 8 or 9 chapters. And then after that, I started to have moments where I was like starting to find things interesting, but then something would always happen that would take me back out of it again. And it kind of felt like this constant, like I'd start to get interested and then I'd be like, I don't care. I'd start to like, oh, where is this going? And then I'd be like, bleh. Like, I don't know. I know so many people love this book and it has great reviews, but I'm not enjoying it.
You're allowed.
It's okay.
Okay.
All right, let's bring it down here,
Sexy
ladies and
Lucas.
gentlemen.
Do you want me to preface this for you?
Yes, if you don't
Okay,
mind.
so Lucas lost his voice, in case you can't tell. This is not a character choice
No,
that he has
this is
made.
not.
He lost his voice really bad over the weekend, and it is getting slightly better.
Slightly
but
better.
this is like his.
This is Late Night with Literally Wasted.
Yeah.
And tonight we're
So
going to
this
talk
is-
about crabs.
Nope.
Oh,
Don't like that.
Sexy. Do
Um,
some more.
No.
I think someone put it very well in the lounge. This is like Miyazaki film in a book, and I think what Drew Magary did.
Miyazaki films are good.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I think
Some people think this is good.
I think
I know.
Drew Magary was experimenting with a different drug for every chapter, and he's like, "I'm going to smoke peyote tonight."
Or all of them at the
I
same
am
time.
going to do a line of cocaine tonight. I am going to get binge drunk on bad tequila tonight and write a chapter. And I think what we have is this book. And in some ways, I don't like the Rottweilers. Hated the beginning, did not like the Rottweilers.
Remember when I started reading it this morning?
Yes.
I opened the book this morning
And I was like,
and I only got like 4 words into the book. And Lucas was down the hall and I was like, what the F? And he was like, just keep
get
reading.
past the.
And I did. And it's still what the F-E to me.
Yeah, Bethany's kind of got it. It's like a creepy Alice in Wonderland, Wizard of Oz. But Christy, I had the opposite reaction with the whole Ben is the crab thing. I actually got way more into it. Like me, that was like, oh man, like now I'm really just interested to see how the hell is this guy going to tie this all together? What is this ending going to be? Is it some existential thing? Is it some metaphorical thing?
I'm sure
I don't know. I'm really interested to see where it goes. I like a lot of it, but it honestly, in a good way, it feels like a take a shot story where every chapter is kind of different and weird and like a different author wrote every chapter. Something I like that something different is at least happening in every chapter. There's momentum through the story. It is weird. I don't know. I'm mixed right now, but I'm really interested to see where it goes. But I don't hate it. It's definitely not a hate for me.
I don't hate it.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
I did think of another positive thing. It only took me 2 hours to read the first half. So 2 more hours and I don't have to read this book anymore.
It does go really fast.
The font's very big.
Okay. Well, yeah, a lot of people are talking about how it felt like a choose your own adventure, and some people in the discussion topics talked about that too. But other than choose your own adventure, people were talking about the books that it reminded them of or the stories it reminded them of. We already got Alice in Wonderland. Lisa Magazine got Wizard of Oz vibes.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I definitely a Twilight Zone for me.
Yeah. Alex Pursley said Ender's Game and Odyssey, which you mentioned Odyssey.
Oh yeah, the Odyssey. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I did. I mentioned that. I am learned.
Kathy Dunn said, huh?
Sorry, no, keep going.
Kathy Dunn said Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, which I totally agree with.
Yeah,
That's
so we
the
got
big
the
one for
Odyssey
me.
here.
Lisa Magazine said Hansel and Gretel. No, sorry. Ashley Bailey Wade said Hansel and Gretel. Adrian Lamb said it feels like a warped version of Hercules Labors or a demented video game made entirely of side quests. And Joe actually mentioned it also felt like Spirited Away, and then
That's what it was.
said it feels like a Silent Hill situation too, maybe.
Ooh, creepy. Yeah, I can see that. And it's interesting that we have people talking, like Mike's talking about the different setting every chapter ruins some momentum. I feel like this book had, at least for me, like it just like kept, like I had to keep going. I was like, well, I can't stop here. What's the next crazy? It's like opening a blind box every chapter. It's like, what am I gonna get this time? It's like one of those things for me. But yeah, Phantom Tollbooth.
I do. Pacing wise, I agree with Christy. Like, honestly, I didn't have, like, even though I was not enjoying the read, I felt like the pace it was really consistent and moving. And then when I found out that the crab was Ben. I was like, how much more side quest adventure things are we gonna have to like struggle bust through before we get some resolution? Like, I don't know.
See, but I felt like it, it wasn't for me. It wasn't like, oh God, we got to read more. Like, he's going to do 10 years before we're going to get anywhere. For me, it was like, oh, this is really interesting. And like, I wonder what's going to, if we're following this particular Ben, this is like,
Yeah, but how can they cover 10 years in like, what, 150 pages?
I mean, maybe, like I said, maybe part 2 starts with, don't say if it does. Maybe part 2 starts like 6 years later.
Oh,
or like
Willa has a good question. Is Crab even telling the
what?
truth?
Yeah, what is even real? Because
I was like, Crab is my favorite character, though.
I love Crab.
Crab is
Crab's
definitely
hilarious.
Crab and his like sarcastic, sardonic attitude is fantastic.
I like when Ben tried to name the crab.
Yeah, how come you should?
But also, this book made me want seafood. Like real bad.
Oh yeah, when he eats good.
Like a lobster tail, like a corn dog. That vision, I was like, oh, that sounds great.
It's a Miyazaki film. All the food
I want to eat a
and all
lobster
the
tail like a corn
Studio
dog.
Ghibli.
Yeah, I see that. I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he eats good, and those parts always made me hungry. Even when he was like looking at the crab legs, and Crab was like, "Don't even think about it." But
Except for the curry stew, the giants.
Yeah.
Also, not totally unconvinced, by the way, that some of this cover art, if there's a zombie in the second half of this book, Chrissy, then I'm not reading October's.
Oh, no.
I don't know about a zombie. We'll see, though.
Just go with it.
This looks suspicious.
Someone said, maybe it was Kira, said that it was like a really good
This looks sus.
spoiler.
Context-free
spoiler cover
Yeah.
art. Yeah.
So that's what I thought. So after I finished the first half, I started looking at all the things and I was like, okay, I know what this is, but I don't know what that is, and I don't know what this
Are we
is.
frozen?
No,
I don't think so.
not to me. But I don't know what these things are. And also the giant was cannibalism stuff, and cannibalism is just alive zombies or zombies who aren't dead yet, and gross. I'm done.
What is this like
be
fart cloud
fair,
at the bottom?
I don't know.
Cannibals and zombies are two different things.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. Zombies are. Yeah.
Oh, she's frozen. I thought she was.
They
No,
both
it's
eat
us.
people. They both eat people.
Are we
Yeah,
frozen?
You're a little glitchy. Are we?
Are we?
How's our internet? Oh no, you're frozen.
Oh yeah.
Either
They
that or
look
you
good.
don't find us amusing at all.
Wow, they're really good at staying still.
Oh man. That's such a good straight face. Is it our internet? Let's double
I don't
check.
know.
Yeah, it
Is it
might be
this one?
mine. It might be
It's
mine.
probably ours.
I think we're back now. I just switched
I
my
hear you
internet.
now.
Oh, that's
Hey.
good.
Okay, yeah, it was us. It was us.
Whoops.
My bad. We got some, what is our internet?
Leanne, you don't know that.
Spectrum, Bright House,
I don't know. One of
whatever,
those.
one of those
Fart
things.
cloud.
Yeah, but like we're talking about like the humor in this book, and again, I think a lot of the humor comes from, well, Crab. Like that's like overt humor there, but like just again, like the way Ben reacts to things. Like one of my favorite, and he kept kind of doing these things, but like when he asked the wolf if the wolf could talk, just because he was like, it could be, it could be a thing now that this wolf can talk. And then he's like, of course the wolf can't talk. But like just that kind, like his reactions to that, it was like, that's kind of it's kind of the way that I feel like I would react in a similar way if I was Ben in this situation. I would probably cry a lot and puke a lot, but also be like, catch on a little bit and be like, you're a talking dog? Maybe? No? Okay.
But they weren't talking dogs. They were people with dog faces, and they killed the dogs, and I hate them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, they're bad people.
And I thought it was so interesting how things from his past or just things that he experienced kept popping up in
Yeah, like the
his
Rottweiler.
story. And the cricket, his wife kills a cricket, and then he faces a giant, terrifying cricket.
Yeah, and he
And his hand through the eyeball and like.
Yeah, I did not like that.
And the Rottweiler is the thing that gave him his scar.
Mm-hmm.
So of course he's got a fear of Rottweilers. Yeah, it's a lot of subconscious psychological things.
He's unpacking a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't know a lot about his life. What does he even do as his job? Do we know that?
He's like a salesperson, and because his scar intimidates people, and he's always or maybe he has to talks to vendors and gets deals on stuff. I can't remember. It's one of those.
Yeah. So, Bailey, you're being so loud.
I can't not do it. I don't know why. It's like an involuntary, like every time I hear your dog, I'm like.
Yeah, but he's, and this is, again, no spoilers, because we got to read the second
spoilers,
half of this
past
book,
that point.
So we're all speculating here. So even if you've read ahead, don't say the truth. But
no spoilers past this point.
Yeah, look at that. There's a crab there.
It's the one I had to cut it out for the picture. I printed it and cut it, and this is, you can see where I gave up because I'm not great with scissors. Anyway, I've been using it as a bookmark.
So he has this quest to find the producer. And there's this kind of like, it kind of feels a little bit Matrixy, but like this producer character is a thing. But he also, there was one point where he kind of like sent a prayer up to whatever. He was like, please let me just see my family one more time. And his phone came on just enough to show him one picture of his family, and then it cut off again. So there's like, he's being like Truman Showed a little bit.
Mm.
Like there's it's the producer, the old lady from the hotel that he was mean to. Yeah, the little girl at the beginning of the that was had her feet cut off. That was the girl from the hotel.
Not a great way to start a book for me. I think that's why, like, I instantly, because of the deer and because of that's why I think the book, I immediately put me in a bad mood. And so and it didn't do anything good enough to bring me out of that anger. And that's why that anger just lingered through chapter 8. And I remember that. I was like, I need to remember which chapter. And I remembered because 8 rhymes with hate. And then chapter 9 was like iffy. And then chapter 10 is when I started to like have moments of interest. But I waffled back and forth.
Yeah, I started listening to it at night, like trying to go to sleep. And that whole scene came in, and I was like, I'm going to stop.
Have you been having nightmares?
This is not a thing you read right before you go to sleep.
No. This will give you ridiculous dreams.
Yeah, this is but there's all these characters that he's meeting. The ones that he can actually converse with that aren't trying to kill him are like the old lady that he meets who has him pull out the weeds in her yard or something.
The monster weeds.
Was that it? The crab and then Fermona is one that he can actually interact with. I hope that Fermona comes back, and it seems like she's going to, because she's an interesting character. Like her attitude about everything.
I loved her attitude about like throwing him in a hole and having him fight to the death.
She kind of reminded me of the witch character in Spirited Away too, like to some degree, that kind of like kooky.
See, I didn't mind her character until she bit that guy's head off and then like cleaned hair out of her teeth, and that made me want to barf, and then I didn't like it anymore.
Well, you're in the same boat as Ben.
Well, she reminded me the most of Kill the Farm Boy, actually, and I know someone else had mentioned that too.
Oh yeah, that was good.
That's the only thing, because I saw that comment about Kill the Farm Boy, and so I kept waiting for the book to become more lighthearted and silly, and it didn't. But I can see that in relation to her, but specifically only her. Like nothing else for me felt fun.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Except for Crab.
But see, I didn't even find him funny. Like I really, really liked him, but then I wonder what that says about me is I didn't find someone being a smartass funny. I just like I like that personality. I guess. I was like, oh, I would be friends with Crab. I didn't find him funny. I just thought he's crabby.
The audiobook does it pretty well. He's pretty. He honestly
crabby.
Kind of sounds like me right now.
He's crabby.
He's like, shut up,
crabby.
I like crabby.
Yeah.
Your Mono was narrated really funny in the audiobook.
Oh, you listened to it too?
Yeah.
I heard she just had such a like peppy personality. For someone who is like a murderous cannibal.
Yeah, she's like, come here so I can kill you.
Yeah.
She was so pleasant about it all.
Natalie, we don't have to get into semantics, okay? I don't know if she's literally a cannibal, but the idea of eating human flesh makes the bile rise in my throat. So it doesn't matter who's doing the eating. I don't like it. But that is a good point. I don't know what the actual definition of cannibal is. I don't want to Google it. I don't think you should Google cannibalism.
So,
why would you do that?
Dan Laverty said, I really want to discuss the drastic change in tone. The first 60 pages were unsettling, suspenseful, and at times downright creepy. Then I felt like Crab and the Giant came in and turned it into Kill the Farm Boy. Did other people like this shift? Because as for me, it felt like a bait and switch.
I preferred the switch. Like when all that happened, I was not into it at first because I was like, if this is going to be some kind of like dark romp through the forest with like dead little girls and like creepy Rottweiler men, like I'm not for it. So I preferred the switch. The bait was bad.
But to me, the switch is not hard enough. Like,
oh, it's still creepy. Like when he's got his
it's
like
a dimmer. It's a dimmer.
Yeah.
Switch.
his ice climbing shoes on and he's wading through bodies.
Yeah.
Like
Adrian Lamb said the tone may have shifted, but the content is still gruesome.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah, I didn't find, maybe this is me, something wrong with me, but the beginning was nightmarish, but I didn't find it to be like overly like sickeningly dark. Like it was the tone for me, I feel like felt mostly consistent, just in that everything was nuts. And I think what anchored it or like glued it all together for me was Ben viewing it through his lens and being like, well, this is effed up. Like having that as the ground, I think kept it more consistent for me because we were looking at it from his perspective. It wasn't this sort of like omniscient, like, and then this happened and this has happened, even though it's not necessary. It's not told through like a first person, is it? It's not.
I don't think so.
It was just like having everything experienced through him was the thing that kept that like hooked me. Not necessarily the events themselves, but this guy is like all of a sudden being thrust into these like what oh my god, and that's what I enjoyed so much about it, was like getting it through this character's eyes and like, you know, even his little thoughts in italics that was like, you know, his like just like this happened, I want to die, like oh my god, like this is just insane, like that was good. I don't know if that made any sense.
I know. The gruesomeness didn't bother me so much just because it became apparent really quick to me that this is not real life. Like all these crazy things were obviously influenced by something else from his past or present. So I don't know, the fact that like I really thought this is like Alice in Wonderland except darker, and I got that really, really quickly. So that kind of helped.
So Brandy, good point. Brandy says she wasn't put off by the gore, but she's used to reading horror books and enjoying them. So here's the thing. That might be why I'm having a harder time with this, is because I don't like to read scary books and I don't watch scary movies. When I turn to media, it's for a happy escape. I like comedies, I like action, and I do not enjoy being frightened.
I don't either, for the record.
And also, like, violence and gore, honestly, to some degree, like, really doesn't bug me. But when it's stuff with little kids, that's when I struggle. And that's why, like, really, the beginning with the little girl, it just pissed me off. And that affected my mentality through, like, the next chapters. And so I don't know. I wonder if maybe if that one part had been taken out, I wonder if I would have gotten into the book sooner. You know what I mean?
That makes sense. Yeah, I don't do the same. Totally.
Yeah, remember we had to stop watching Blood Diamond. It's one of the few movies we had to turn off.
I don't do scary books. Mostly I don't do horror because it's scares me. But yeah, I didn't find this necessarily to be scary as much as it was unnerving, which is kind of a different like feeling. Like this is not one of those things that like The Ring, where you imagine the girl coming out of your TV at late at night when you're looking at the TV. This is just more of a sense of unease, unnerving, like shock. Oh God, like what is happening?
Say the word. Say the word. Menace.
Menace.
I don't like that feeling.
Yeah.
Where he talks all about that. Yeah.
I love that. That was awesome.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to feel that in real life.
I think this book does a good job of making him experience what he's experiencing, which is, a testament to the writer. Which I learned a little bit about Drew Magary today because my boss apparently is a fan of his, and that he used to write for Deadspin and GQ and
Terry
still does. But like, here's the thing: I do want to point that out. Just because I'm not enjoying this book doesn't mean I think that it's a bad book. Like, I do this all the time with food. I tell Lucas to be like, you can eat the rest of this. I can tell that it's good. I know that the flavors are great. And this is like something that other people would enjoy. It's just not for me. Yeah, this book is chock full of onions for me. And I don't like the texture of onions. Like, I can tell that he's a very interesting writer. And there's nothing, I will say, I love that it is very easy to read. If that makes sense. Just the writing style itself is very simple. Because I think if it was this effed up and also written like very metaphorically and flowery in a way that I didn't understand, then I would have thrown it across the room. Oh, sorry. But it is easy to read, which was nice.
I read it in a big chunk as well. Like I was exporting a video and it was taking like 2 hours to do. So I was like, well, I guess I'll read. And I just flew through it. It reads well. It's an easy read, fast paced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were right. You were right about that part, Christy. I think I misunderstood the assignment when we said that. When we were like, September's going to be an easy read.
Well, no. To be fair, I thought this was supposed to be a fun read, and I don't know.
Oh, I'm having a great time.
I don't know if this is exact. I'm getting more than what I signed up for.
I'm having a blast.
Sorry for anybody that feels that way.
I'm loving it.
I will say, like, I was probably into the second chapter when I was like, Christy, you were so wrong. Did you know?
Well, we didn't vote for this book.
I also try really hard not to spoil things for me, so I don't always know what's going on with the book when we put it in the book poll. But Tanny Donza,
I love it,
posted in the discussion topics post, and she actually pointed out a bunch of the stuff that they mentioned in the book that related back to something deep in his subconscious, and I just wanted to point those out really quick. We've mentioned a lot of them. How he's terrified by Rottweilers. He mentions being scary dad and using his outwardly hardened demeanor to intimidate people / clients. And that's where she thought that's where the crab came from. Pheromona reminds him of how seductive and easy it is to fall into depression. She says, I can't figure out if he's dead, in a coma, actually stepped into a magical realm, or is just tripping balls. I can't wait to finish this one.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
I hope he just like went in the mud into the woods and just found some shrooms, and he's just like shrooming out the whole time.
Possibly.
He just wakes up and is like, "Dude, I'm never doing shrooms again." He goes to his business meeting.
And more than any
Yeah.
other book that we've read, I feel like the Calcutex might actually show up.
Yeah, they might show up in this one. If this is your hike, they would show up.
Yeah.
You all know I'm a sucker for horror comedy. Ghostbusters.
Matt straight from the path.
Dark Book Club.
Ooh, that could be fun.
I would join that.
Peggy, that's a great point.
What?
She said, who knew that a book called The Hike with a Crab on the cover would be so dark and trippy? It sounded like a vacation journal in Maine.
Yeah.
We'll read that book next.
I love shellfish.
Let's just read a book where somebody goes on an actual hike and they're just like, and then I saw the waterfall after going 2 miles up the mountain and then came back.
Yeah, so the book is called The Hike, and I do just wonder, like maybe he did, like in the very beginning of the book, like as soon as he walked behind the hotel, he tripped and slammed his brain on a rock.
It's possible.
I don't know, because honestly, the thought of this being some crazy metaphor for something is really hard for me to wrap my mind around, and I find it a lot easier to believe that something bad just happened to him. I don't want to think about the possibility of this meaning something deeper just yet. I'm not ready for that.
I'm ready. I'm already prepared for it. I mean, it's setting us up for that. There's no escape from the symbolism and the references that we're connecting with his actual life. But yeah, you don't want this to just end up like they're saying. If it's the worst thing you can do is have it all just be a dream. It's like the worst ending of anything ever.
But
Super Mario Brothers 2.
What else could it be?
That's the thing. Like I don't want to find meaning in him walking across torn up bodies with ice climbing shoes on. Like I don't want to know
What if it tells you the meaning?
symbolism in eating people is. Like I'd rather it just be like I bonked my head real hard and then LSD fell in my mouth while I was knocked out. Like
I tripped and fell on LSD.
Joe liked the ending. So there's hope.
Yeah, so and Jeff also said earlier that it pays off.
Okay.
So
that's I'm looking forward to that. I want to see.
Okay, but I want to hear someone who didn't like the first half tell me that it pays off. Because if you enjoyed the first half and then you say it pays off, I'm still kind of iffy then.
this is a reference to somebody's comment. I think it was somebody said, it might have been Dan or somebody that said that this is like, if this book wants to be deep and meaningful, honestly, that would make me like it 100 times less. It's like a band writing nonsense lyrics and calling it poetry. So this book is like Bohemian Rhapsody. That's good. That's good.
Spillers. Joe,
love the ending,
you did it again.
Yeah, no spoilers. Yes.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, and he went insane.
Yep.
They're tied together.
Or Ben is what was the name of the human?
Martin.
Andrew Martin.
Andrew. So maybe Ben is Andrew, human Andrew, and he died, and this is his journey through purgatory to hell.
Yes, this is really just a collaboration with Matt
Yeah.
Haig. Mom,
Figured
it wasn't my LSD. I just tripped and it landed in my mouth. This is real life.
So
Is it just fantasy? Hey, we're quoting a song.
Jeff really liked this book. Just starts, he says, pretty much hits the ground running and never stops. And I personally found that pretty refreshing. I did not have to read through 50 to 100 pages of setup, character development, etc. It was just, here we are, let's go. He really liked that approach. Wouldn't want it for every book, but he said it really worked for this one.
That's true.
I definitely can agree with that. Joe, also, I don't know if you're typing spillers on purpose now or not. Like, You just said spillers 3 times in a row. Now I don't know if you're doing it to be funny or if like your phone really is just being crazy.
Or if we're on
Spillers.
LSD now.
Spillers.
Am I on LSD now?
I mean spillers.
I feel like
This sounds like when a drunk person's trying to
Is
talk
any
to you.
of this real?
Spillers.
Just a fun
I
fact.
mean,
Matt Haig
yeah.
named another
Spillers.
asshole character Martin in another book. Did somebody named Martin take him off? Maybe. We should ask him if we ever do an author Q&A with him.
What do you have against Martin?
Martin. My dad is Martin.
Ooh, Rebecca, that's a great question. I wonder if we're going to get more information on her nursing mishap. Like what happened?
I get it, Steve. A little too much of that LDS. Star Trek 4. LDS.
What is the name of the things from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Which ones?
Or the robots? What do they call them? LMDs.
LMDs.
Oh, yeah.
That's something else. Never
Life
mind.
model
Okay.
decoy or something.
Yeah, I got distracted.
This book is the antithesis of the humans. We read the Light Fun book last month.
Yeah, we did accidentally.
Not that I'm not having a good time with this one.
But we're also reading something scary next month. So maybe, Christy, just run it out. Maybe we could read something really happy in November. Something fluffy and happy.
I'm going to pick the book for November. It's going to be Garfield.
Okay.
Just Garfield.
Adam, I think you should do a literally wasted Garfield retrospective.
Oh, I love Garfield.
Kira, this is a great comment.
Yeah, that's good, Kira. That's deep. That's
Spoiler
deep shit.
alert, I never saw that movie. I'm just kidding. I mean, I know.
I've never seen it either. But
I
know
also
what
didn't see
happens.
it, but I know.
That's one that you really like. I don't know. I watched it once. Once you watch it once, it's like,
It's like the
I guess you could watch it again.
like the Prestige. I only need to watch it once.
You know what? I was going to say this,
Great
but
movie.
I forgot. But you reminded me to say this. I feel like this is the book that you can only read once. Like if you try to reread this book, it's definitely not going to be the same as your first time through this with all it's like watching Air Force One, like you've seen it once, you're like, oh, this is exciting. And you watch it again, you're like, I know what happens. Get off my plane. But I feel like I will never have the same experience reading this book if I decided to go back and read it than I did this first time. And I appreciate that. I think that's a good thing.
It's one of those, if you end up liking it so much that you want to find those moments. It's like playing some video games through twice, right? Like then you really appreciate some of the nuances. Or we watched The Matrix with our kids. They'd never seen it. And we picked up on a ton of stuff that
we had not
true.
before.
So Jeff makes a good point. Maybe you do read it again with a different perspective, like trying to catch all the things that maybe you didn't catch the first time. All the little clues.
I bet we're missing a ton of stuff.
And things like that. Oh yeah. Oh, we should read it again. Next month we're reading The Hike. No.
Matt Weaver, I saw your comment about having a different definition of scary than me. Everyone has a different definition of scary than me. If it makes you feel any better, Stranger Things is as far as I go. And even then, I don't watch it by myself, and there's a light on. And he fell asleep, and I had to watch Coraline by myself one time, and it gave me nightmares. So, yes. No, my line for scariness is
Stranger Things.
She had to really convince me to watch Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, yeah. No, I had to trade him. What did you make me watch in
Garfield.
No, it was one of those Star Treks.
Ladies and gentlemen.
It was it was Airplane. But I got him to watch.
She hates Airplane. She hates Airplane the movie. Who's the crazy one?
Christy, you totally won on that one, though.
It's not my kind of humor, but I got him to watch Cabin in the Woods because we traded.
But the Cabin in the Woods is a scary movie, right?
Have you seen it?
No.
It
sounds like a scary movie.
It's kind of a scary movie. Don't Google anything about it. Just go watch it.
I love it.
But I don't know that I trust you.
I'm not talking to everybody else.
Look, Airplane is a great movie, says people. We're not even talking about The Hike anymore.
Airplane is a great movie for some people. It just wasn't for me.
I almost broke up with her. I was going to break up with her after that. This was early. I was like, oh.
Oh man. Okay. See, thank you. There are a couple of there are a couple of people in the comments that are little baby chickens, just like me, and it's okay. It is okay to be a little baby chicken. There's nothing wrong with that. People like what they like, and I don't like to be scared.
That's true, but you should like airplane. Anyway, The Hike.
Okay.
It's a book about Ben going through some stuff.
Ben the crab.
Ben and Ben.
But yeah.
What is crab backwards? Bark. Bark like Rottweiler. It's all
actually
connected.
Yeah, bark. Oh. It is.
Put Adrian's up there for Talia.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Cabin in the Woods is fun, Talia. Trust me, I resisted for a long time because I don't like scary movies much more. But I
sorry.
No! See, it's scary. You heard me talking about crabs backwards. This is my opportunity to say that I don't like scary movies and it's fine, and I'm not going to watch this. Well, I know, Adrian, if you really don't like scary movies, like, what is your definition of a scary movie? Because, this is, since they're muted, I'll tell the story. This is how much of a chicken I am. You know the movie, Scary Movie? That's a comedy where they make fun of scary movies? Leanne!
I forgot it had zombies. I'm sorry.
You should watch it anyway.
Watch a zombie movie.
It's not a zombie movie. It's not a zombie
Leanne,
movie.
thank you. Looking out. You're
Not
my
a
hero.
zombie movie.
You're wonderful.
Leanne, we almost had her.
But also, yeah. So I tried to watch Scary Movie, the comedy that makes fun of scary movies, and it scared me, and I couldn't finish watching the movie.
I don't think you can do Cabin in the Woods then. If Scary Movie got you.
Me.
Ooh, here's a good on-topic post. I realized I was late, but has anyone mentioned the fact that crabs have independently evolved over and over again through the history of the planet?
I don't know if it was you, but
that.
someone posted that on the group today, and it was really interesting.
Wait, I need more information. What does that mean?
It's like 4 or 5 times different creatures independently evolved into crabs.
What?
Yeah, no, I think that's all the information that was in there, but like, it's so fascinating.
Like a fish turned
Someone
into a
find that
crab,
study
or
and post the link in the lounge because I want to read it. Where do crabs come from?
Yeah, see, Adrian Lamp, there's a meme that involves Star Wars.
What? I feel like I'm on the hike now.
About crabs?
Well, yeah, about the crabs thing. It made sense in context.
How?
It was a meme.
I'm so confused.
Wait, hang on. I'm trying to
I
find
thought
it.
crabs were just like one of those things, like crabs were around when dinosaurs were here. So, like, we have alligators are dinosaurs and crabs are dinosaurs.
IFL Science article, evolution keeps turning things into crabs. Yeah, Google that. I effing love science. Is what
Oh my
that
God,
is.
someone please post a link in the lounge so I can read later. It's like, that sounds insane and also terrifying. I don't want to turn into a crab.
You'll see the South Park episode about crab people.
I don't know why, but that really turned me on when you said that.
Oh, that's creepy.
Tastes like crab.
But so Matt, let's follow up on that thought about crabs. Crabs independently evolving over time. Basically, lots of different types of life have eventually evolved into crabs. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Did Drew Magary know before he wrote this book?
Wait, what was the
Drew
book?
Drew Magary knows
Magary.
everything.
What was the book? Wasn't there like a sex scene with a crab and a dolphin?
Yes.
Yes.
The Prey of Gods.
Which was also an on-drug book.
Yeah, that was
Yes,
really...
it was.
Noticing a theme here.
Literally wasted. You don't have to do drugs to feel like you're on drugs.
I like this better than that one though.
I don't. I liked Prey of Gods
Let's
better.
fight.
All right. I'll make a full screen for the fight.
Yeah.
Go. We're totally evolving into salamanders though, right, Adam? I get it. Star Trek Voyager.
Isn't there a salamander that can breathe through its skin? That's a frog. Never mind. What were we talking about?
drugs.
Evolution? Yeah.
There's a shirt.
I like it. Literally, you don't have to do drugs, but it helps.
But it helps. Oh gosh, the hike. What haven't we talked about yet? We can only talk about the first half of this book. What?
We should do another one that's literally wasted and high. No one will get it though, and people will make assumptions about us.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But whatever.
High on books.
What else? What haven't we talked about with the hike?
Adrian says this discussion is really following the tone of the book. It's all over the place.
Well, you know what?
That's fair.
You are what you read.
Oh god.
Isn't that what they say?
No.
I don't think anyone says that.
Oh.
Hey, who else wanted to go on the cool boat? The boat seemed really
Oh,
great
that boat
until
seemed awesome.
like until it crashed into an iceberg. That was like the best part. Put me on a fancy boat with a ton of
spiral
seafood.
staircase.
Heck yeah.
The spread.
I forgot. How does he get to the beach? He falls into a hole? He falls into a hole.
I forgot about the hole. Yeah. He goes through the door that's in the tower and he falls through the hole. I totally forgot about that.
He throws the seed and goes, and the Rottweiler guys are chasing him.
We talk about everything that happened in Fermona's lair.
I doubt it.
There was a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff happened. There's other prisoners that were released.
I like the dwarves. He fought the dwarves and then got a gun and was like.
I thought it was hilarious that she's like, you get to choose either one man or 5 dwarves, and he's like, okay, one man.
By the way, they're not armed.
You have to do both.
They're unarmed, okay?
It wasn't a choice. You get to do both. That cracked me up.
And then Crab gave him the magic seed that turned into a gun, and then the gun actually like worked as a threat object to a giant. And she was like, fine, I'll release all my prisoners. Yes, Talia.
That just reminded me, I think what he said to her about the bullets is going to come back into play. He said the reason she was scared of the gun is because even little things can do big damage or something like that. And that seemed a little too on the nose, so I feel like that's going to come back.
Okay,
the backpack was super cool.
It can hold everything. And then things just seem to happen to him. Like there is a bit of convenience. He had to fight a giant cricket to get to the control room, the controls to release the boat out of the water
and the dock.
Adam, did it feel like an old point and click adventure?
Yes, yes, it did.
It's like I start with this item and this item, and throughout my adventure, I'm going to get other items and other things. And
that is a really good description of sometimes what this book feels like. It's like, now I have to walk. It's like, I know I need to do this, but there's a big cricket there. But if I go into the cricket room, it's going to kill me. So I need to go downstairs. I need to get the thing. And the object is in the cricket's eye. Search
of course.
Eye. Yeah. And then you dig into the eye. It's like, that's exactly what it felt like.
That's it's a Sierra
yes.
point and click adventure, because there's more threats and death and game overs and like weirder solutions, like
Mist.
That's the thing. On the inside of the book, it says, from the author of The Postmortal, a fantasy saga unlike any you've read before, truth, weaving elements of folk tales and video games into a riveting, unforgettable adventure of what a man will endure to return to his family.
Sanity.
Nice. Yeah, Matt. Jinx.
Yeah, definitely feels like some video game elements here.
Yeah. If you didn't play those games, Sierra and LucasArts were the 2 biggest point-and-click adventure games.
Space Quest, baby.
Space Quest, yeah. King's Quest. Yeah.
All the quests.
But
yeah, that was really good. That moment, especially with the cricket, like how to defeat the cricket, really felt like a video game to me. And then it's just like, all right, because those things were all about like solving puzzles and like finding the right items. And if you don't do it the right way, you're going to get killed.
To advance the story.
It's about like looking for the right things and combining the right items and all that stuff.
It's definitely a Sierra one, because LucasArts never had a death penalty. Like you could never die or lose that way. But Sierra, there was always those like, oh,
there's death around the corner.
Yeah.
It's like Dragon Slayer, but like point and click adventure style. The producer is the big boss. And then things happen. It's like, and Crab's like, well, you're on the boat now. You better get going because the waves are about to eat the island.
Yeah.
That you
No,
just
that was
came
the
from.
lady. The old
Oh, the
lady
lady.
on the phone. She
Right.
just like appeared on his phone and was like, "You have 2 minutes. Go."
Uh-oh.
Nice.
Video games have producers. Maybe he's in a video game. Maybe he is the point and click
Maybe
video game.
he went to go eat shrooms in the woods.
If this is a video game, I can't return the book because I need it for marketing purposes, but I would, if I didn't have to, keep it.
I did not know
That'd
that
be
there
so-
were missed books. I need to go
weird.
find those.
What?
Kira, yes. Do y'all remember the beginning of the pandemic when everything started happening? When it's like, remember when Australia was on fire and then
Right.
a global pandemic happened and then there were those like killer bee things? And remember when it was like, oh, what is happening? It's the apocalypse and all this crazy.
It's the hike.
This book is 2020. Yikes.
That was last year.
Was it? Or are we still there?
You're
Are we
still-
we're still in the beginning of 2020.
still in it.
We all fell. We all tripped on a rock and LSD fell in our mouth and we're still in the beginning of 2020.
This
How
is
about two
good.
plumbers that rescue a princess? Yeah. That's definitely one up. All right, we're getting close to the hour. We strayed a little bit. We
strayed
fun
from the
little-
path.
strayed from the path.
Yeah.
We're still alive. Yeah, I am really. Beach houses were the most disturbing thing to me for some reason. Yeah, that was also pretty unnerving for me as well. Like just walking on this like empty, quiet beach with empty houses that nobody had anything
Really?
in. Yeah, it was pretty unnerving. There's a lot of unnervingness about this book. Just
I
the
feel like a
stillness.
peeled dog bothers me more than empty real estate.
That's just
Awful.
That's just awful. It's not. It doesn't create the same sense of like menace or unnerve when you know that when the sources of the menace is there and you see like, okay, this is the thing that is going to kill me. Is different than like, this feels weird.
Oh, Peggy said Walking Dead vibes with the empty real estate.
Oh yeah, Walking Dead, which is a zombie thing.
Don't worry. We
The
haven't
people are
seen zombies yet.
scarier than the zombies.
I am suspicious. I'm suspicious.
Hmm.
Why does he look all peeled and veiny?
Well, I think we're gonna find out. Maybe.
Yes.
I can't.
So yeah, we've got the second half of the book coming up. I'll go ahead and say that I am very much looking forward to the second half. I'm going to start reading it sooner than later. Well, I got to balance it because I don't want to remember it by the time we have our live
Yeah.
discussion. So maybe I'll wait a little bit more and keep reading The Caves of Steel for now. But I can't wait to get back to this book because I'm really invested and I'm excited and I like this book a lot.
I'm probably going to read it tonight. I'd like to finish it tonight so that I can be done. I just want to get it over with. And I want to put it on the shelf.
Fair.
And then I'm going to probably pick something from my very, very, very tall TBR stack that looks happy and read that next.
Garfield.
I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to the rest of it.
That's it?
Did the discussion change your mind at all about anything, Christy?
The fact that some people have finished it and thought the ending paid off is really helpful.
Yeah.
And I was really enjoying it. It's just really when I found out Crab is Ben from 10 years later is what like just got me.
And does that also mean this is a cycle? Because like if that's still happening, is now this Ben going to turn into a crab in 10 years and walk the other Ben through? Is this like a never-ending nightmare?
It's like Bill and Ted's Excellent
Well,
Adventure.
it's not never ending. It's just a cycle for 10 years or once for 10 years, and then he gets to the fork in the road with Ben again.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't live the same day over and over again. It's just other Bens keep coming in. It's like Bill and Ted when they find themselves at the Circle K.
I'm just hoping the crab isn't Ben, because that would just help me.
Or he does something great and it breaks the cycle and everything just goes away.
Yeah, breaking the cycle would be lovely.
I'm most excited about meeting Ben's fart that turns into a character. Mr. Fart Cloud here.
Professor Fart.
Yeah, I'm excited. I want to see. I like time loop stuff like that. And there's a new video game out that explores that, where you're reliving same thing to try to figure out the right path. And is it my favorite? No. I hope we get away from. I hope there's not any more like creepy stuff. But yeah, it is an interesting book.
And we will talk about the conclusion of this book 2 weeks from today on Wednesday. What month is it? September 29th.
Yes.
Oh, that was perfect
That was
timing.
right into the microphone.
Oh, your breath smells so
very
bad.
Cute.
She's an old lady.
And I guess we can go ahead and announce what we're reading for October.
You voted. This is the one you voted
this.
for, as you do every month. So you can blame yourselves if you didn't like this book.
Yes, every month.
But we are going to read The Ghost Tree by Christina Henry.
Oh, man, you have such a good memory. This is actually Liza. Hugo is the short-haired tuxedo, and Liza is the long-haired one, and she hates everybody and everything, and also being out of her room, but she's hungry, and that's why she's here. Don't you fight me.
So Giggle says, "Whoops, I didn't vote." It was close. It was close
by 10 votes.
Like 10 votes. The Ghost Tree beat out. What was the second place one?
This house is haunted.
This house is haunted.
And they're already in the Amazon store. So if you were waiting to get them, the two runners-up are on the runners-up list, and then Ghost Tree is in the Book of the Month list for the Amazon shop. Liza.
So the Ghost Tree for October, it's a spooky month, so we're just preparing you, I guess, with this book for the spooky month, and I think it's going to be fun. And if you watched our poll video, we do have a good clip of Talia saying, "I can do it, I'm going to do it." And so when we get into the live discussion, I'm going to have that clip ready to play.
We might need it for the second half of this.
So yeah.
This book.
So
okay, but there were some things that you cut out as well. Which
there's always things
after every single description that Christy gave, I was like, "Oh, yay!
It's Halloween."
I know, but I just like Halloween for costumes and candy. Yes. I love wearing black.
Yeah, but for sure, Lucas, smooth jazz Lucas next week.
Alex, as I sit down with. Yes,
but I'm a wimp too. So if this book is actually truly scary, Christy will pay.
Yeah,
I'm okay with it.
And you all will too, since you voted for it. But yeah, it should be good. We've had a lot of people in the group praise this book and praise Christina Henry and say this is good stuff. So I'm looking forward to this is out of my wheelhouse completely. So you'll see what I look like out of my wheelhouse. If you've ever wanted to know what that looks like,
I can do it if it's just one book a month. I mean, a year. One book a year. One book a year, I can do it. I feel like this is like pushing it a little bit, but one book a year, I will do it for the Lit Fam because I love y'all. But nobody else, never for any other reason.
I like expanding my horizons. Dan says Ghost Tree is creepy, unsettling, but super well written and very emotional and thought-provoking. I hope you guys like it. Well, we hope we do too.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. No! I missed
you missed all this dark book club that they're trying to start. Welcome to the dark book club.
Dan, doubling down on the Ghost Tree. Ghost Tree has some of the best pacing and plot unfolding I've read in a long time.
I think it was you, Dan, but I think other people too have also been praising the Ghost Tree a lot lately. So I'm really excited to read it.
That's fair.
Yes,
Fair.
I like my thoughts to be nice and unprovoked and buried back there
thoughts?
calmly.
So
All my thoughts and my emotions trapped in a little bottle,
but listen,
buried down deep.
if it's scary, whatever it is, just know that we will all be collectively experiencing it together. So
Also, there's no pressure. If you don't want to read it and you need to skip October, we totally understand.
no pressure.
It's not a big deal.
Just do
So
Except for me, I have to do it.
Yeah,
yeah,
you
except
have
for
to do it.
Talia.
But you know, like take comfort in like if you're reading something scary, think, oh, Adam is reading this as well. I cannot wait to see his sleep deprived eyeballs on our live discussion.
I didn't get the impression this one was that bad.
I don't sleep though. It's just normal.
That's true.
Y'all are gonna know if we get. It's like this is not one that I have already prepared myself. Normally for the discussion, I read the first half right before, like the day of or the day before, because I'm not good at stopping at the midway point, and it's important to me to stop at the midway point so that I never spoil anything. But I know for the scary book, I'm going to need to parcel it out for my mental health. So that means periodically through the month of October, you're going to see me post in the lounge, hey, share your links of funny animal videos here and post cute memes that you found today, or send pictures of flowers and happy bumblebees. And that will get me through October. Cute animal videos and pretty nature things. That it helps.
Yeah, let's go into it.
We're going to do it.
Guns blazing, full steam ahead. But first, we got to finish the second half of the hype, which I'm very
That's
excited to
right.
do it.
And if y'all haven't already noticed, merch is here.
Mostly, almost.
Mostly.
So quick merch update. We just got the extra large Take a Shot shirts in both men's and women's. So if you ordered one of those and that completes your order, I'm actually going to go work on those as soon as we wrap up and hopefully get some more orders out tomorrow. You will get a tracking number as soon as your order ships. We should be getting the rest of these shirts. There was one size we had left, just a few people. And I'm sorry if you were towards the tail end. And then we should have koozies. We have a remaining lot of koozies. So,
and sorry, if there was an error with your order, like a few of you have emailed us and we like accidentally forgot to put something in there, or maybe we were having too much fun with the Thai food in the packing party and we accidentally dropped something out of your package, email us at literarily.wasted@gmail.com and please tell us if there was an error so that we can fix it. We want to make sure that everybody has exactly what they wanted and is happy with their order. So please tell us.
I will say, considering we've had a few, but considering the outpouring, and thank you everyone so much for your support, we really didn't have much. So, and look at this, y'all. We made a book. It's a real book, and it's got
y'all made a book
and everything. It's so cool. I think that's about it. Maybe we're cooking up some other Take a Shot stuff as an experiment. I don't know.
Maybe we're cooking other good stuff.
Yeah, so be on the lookout. Maybe we're playing around with some stuff, and I don't know.
Jeff, I did not spill food on anybody's stuff. I promise.
I didn't pack all the things.
Yeah, Adam started packing them late, and then he showed us all up by starting to write notes. So
yeah, and then I got really mad, so I wrote a couple of notes, but then I had to do something else, and so some people have notes and some people don't. I'm sorry,
but we love all of you. So even if you didn't get a note, we love you.
Oh, and there's also, I don't remember who it was, but one person got a shot glass, and I was really scared it was going to break because there wasn't a sturdier thing. So I apologize. It's like I wrapped that thing in like layers and layers and layers of tape. So if you didn't get it open, my bad.
It was very well protected.
I was really scared.
You did a good job, Telly. I watched it. I watched it happen.
If it broke, I'm going to be so upset. On that note,
Well, how special is that?
if that was you, by the way, can you post in the lounge and let me know that your shot glass didn't break? Because if it did, I'll send you another one.
I would be shocked if it broke.
Those things are sturdy.
Well, no, I don't know if y'all saw the way she packed it. She took pains to make sure it didn't break.
Well, we love you all. You're the best. You're the best.
You're the best.
Thank you, guys. You know, we've got some website changes we're going to be making. We've got some software that we've had to pay for, and you know, we've basically been covering all this out of pocket for the past couple of years. So it just helps us kind of offset some of those costs. Nobody is making any money off of this. It's all coming right back into the club, and hopefully we'll have some exciting stuff coming up in the next couple months, and probably some more merch and just fun stuff. Good. Fun.
But for real, the fact that y'all are so incredibly supportive, it really does mean a lot. It really does.
Jeff, I will touch on Jeff's Patreon comment. We've talked about it in the past, but we want to keep everything free. And I don't know. I mean, like I don't want
to exclude anyone.
Yeah, like
exclude
anyone. We don't want to exclude anyone, Jeff.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've talked about Patreon, but at the same time, like there is a lot of extra stuff that would have to go into that. But again, like we just want to keep everything accessible to everyone. Just no paywalls. If you want to support us with merch or a donation, great. But everything that we do, we want everyone to be able to participate in. And
Talkie hang time is free.
That's right.
Yeah, you all are truly the best, and it's because of you that we're here. So stick around. We love you, and we will be back in 2 weeks to talk about the second half of the hike. But we'll always be around. I'm trying to be a little bit more active in the literarily wasted lounge. I had to, there was some busyness that came up, and I had to not be on Facebook as much, but I want to be back. I want to hang out with y'all and talk with y'all. In the meantime, let's talk about what we're reading, what we're doing, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. It's going to be awesome. So thank you, everybody, and good night. Bye.
Bye.
Now watch me end the broadcast, because that always takes a minute. Hey, let's do weird things.